Candle. It smells like tropical. What was it? Tropical shores. I don't like what something's named. What energy drink was I picking up the other day? It was like tastes like tropical ultra. I was like, what the heck is that? And I thought it's got to say like coconut or pineapple or something on it at the back, right? No, it's like tastes like the sandy shores at something, brisk breeze and all of this. I was like, no, it doesn't. What does it taste like? Tell me what it tastes like. I didn't pick it up. I was like, I'm just gonna pick up something else. Oh, someone asked for help? Wait. What should I do to make the stencil layer? Oh. Let's fix everything. Also, hello, Scaledox. How's it going, man? You're a new person, right? You're a new person, new to the world. You're new to the chat. That'd be more specific. Specific? Wait, what's someone say? If we could ask an unrelated question, there's nobody on the actual on Discord that seems to answer. Sigh, I am trying to render it out using. Why is someone saying like, oh, this isn't the place to ask for help for that? What do you mean? I remember it was like the main program I use. Wow, I'm being blasted by light. It's quite dim in my room, but I guess the exposure. Freaking, I look like I've got a cloak on. Bilbo cloak, man. Oh, Jesus. I think I'll render this out in 4K when I do it final, because if you actually get really close, obviously, you're losing all this detailing. Oh, I have to hand draw this part again. Like here. Look how kind of naff that looks. But that makes sense, because if you look at the, I haven't fixed my chat yet. Hold on a minute. I've been having a very crappy week. Not because the week's actually been bad, just because I've been feeling unwell. The issue I've been having for a long time, I won't reiterate what it is, because I probably sound like a broken record. But it's just gotten worse. And I'm like, ugh. And I can't see a doctor about it for a very, well, not very long time. What is it? 2 months. Even though I've been waiting like a year. NHS. Sure, we get it for free, but hot damn, are they in no rush at all to actually help? Cool, that's up now. Sweet, now we've got both chats up. Alright, so I sort of did half the Canon for the new high poly. Like, I actually did it as a physical mesh instead, because I think it looks better, especially from distance. But the other side, I haven't really included all that detailing, which is fine because you're not really going to see that side, so I'm not too fast. I also still don't have a texture for these guys, so let's quickly do those. So these guys are... Okay, yeah, we are on Canon. Let's create another folder. Make it this bright red for now. There you go. This should work. Oh, or not. They should have had a very easy curvature to them, but it's doing the weirdness. They're very easy to do though, so let's just do a not paint. I don't need to do a paint layer. Just do it manually. Let's get a glove on, shall we? I feel like a golfer, just glove on one hand. What hand do they have the glove on? Is it their right or left? I feel like it's their left, right? Golfer. It is their left. Or is that guy just left-handed? Hold on a minute. Yeah, it is their left. Why is it on their left? Oh, damn. It doesn't matter what you type in. You'll get something like... golfer. Oh, look at his woman, like... very attractive woman pushing some golf bags around. I was gonna say, what is she pushing around? Why do they wear one glove in gold? Go. I assume it's to help with the grip. What I'm curious about is why is it only on the left? Does the left grab the top of the club? That makes the most sense, I guess. I prevent limit. Oh, damage done to the hand, right? But then why do most golfers only wear one glove? That's because the weak hand does most work holding the glove. Oh, does it? Oh, wait. So it's like your left hand. I guess your left hand is the one that like holds the golf club quite stiff, while your right hand does like micromanaging to like get it tilted in the right way, especially like when putting. That makes sense. You learn something every day. I've always been a very just want to learn new things. If I don't know something, I'll instantly just go and look it up, right? And I think that's a funny thing about me, because I feel like that gives people... Oh, I have to fix all this as well, because I had to rebake everything. It's broken some of my paints. I feel like that gives people the misconception that I'm clever. Because I'm not clever. I just look things up a lot when I don't know something. Now, could you call that being clever? It's just knowledgeable, I guess. Because I am not a clever person. So these like collide together, but that was intentional. I didn't mind it doing that. Is it? Why is it? Oh. Oh, right, okay. So why is it like sort of not really strong? I want to read more of that person's comment. Why did they say, you know, like this doesn't? It's not the right server to be asking these questions. There's an official Unreal Discord. Unreal Slack is the largest unofficial server, but Unreal doesn't have an official server. That's the one. What did you asking question and answers in general, where all the questions appear to be asked? You'd be better off asking cinematics. It's less active and will take longer to get answered, but nobody will answer your question in general because those who know about it, right, is the film and render section, because I don't see it in cinematic. Considering you're not in Unreal Cycles Discord, I think you're in the wrong server. Oh, okay. It wasn't saying my server was the wrong server. He was saying the Unreal server he was using was the wrong Unreal server. I was gonna say, I want to help. I do, Peter. I do. Where's the original concept? Okay, it's gonna be way brighter than this. It's like a bright yellow. I can never get yellow looking good. It always looks too green or too orange. Let's do a hard light. Oh, not quite, not quite. Soft light. Soft lights are a little bit better. I'll do a little blur on it. I said a little blur. That's a bit better. We don't want to have any of these. Oh, God, it's fine. How reflective is this surface supposed to be? It looks reflective, but it also doesn't. So I'm just going to go medium. We'll make it sort of metal. We'll make it mostly metal. A little bit less. Problem with stylized is, like I've said it before, it's very hard to make something look like the way the concept looks, because in the concept, so I'll explain this again because I think it's quite important. So this, you could argue, is paint anyway. It's not actually metal, because if you look, it's got like a silver rim to it, meaning if it is gold, it's gold plated. So you could argue that, oh, but Steve, it's not metal anyway. But the thing with metal is metal will reflect the color it is, right? Even if we look at this, it's not really giving you that effect. What I mean when I say that is, let's look at this, right? The color we got on this scene, I don't actually know, because it's just like whatever the background looks like. But as we turn up and down, metallic, you'll see it will go from what the color is. So the color we actually have shining on it is mostly white, you can see. As we turn up the metallic, it will reflect the color it actually is. So now if I turn that blue, you'll get a much more blue-like reflection. Yeah, you can really see it there. See that? But again, if you turn off metallic, you'll get more of a white reflection. That's the difference between metals and non-metals. I'll say plastics, but not just plastics, all non-metals when it comes to rendering. Well, when it comes to PBR rendering. I'm not that smart either. I have to Google the material setup for substance material in every time radio, but I also F up the blue and green thingy. See, I always... So, yeah, you mean like the ORM map, as I call it. So I call it the ORM map because it's ORM. Occlusion, roughness, metallic. In fact, lots of places call it ORM map now, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not the only one. And the reason I nicknamed it ORM map is because I know it goes RGB. So that way I know ORM, ORM is OR... or RG and MB. So it just goes in the order. Hello, Mehmet. How's it going? Alright. That was my Facebook. Fine, thanks. Good. That looks fine. I'm gonna actually do something like this, make it a bit weaker, because we're gonna have like really sharp bits here. It's gonna be more an actual color, I'd say. So normal, like this, like this, like this, and then it's gonna be like here, 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 here. I'm gonna have one that's like here, 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 and I guess this could be more like this. And maybe one here. That's gonna be a bit more blurred, but not that blurred. Cool. That needs to be a bit weaker. More yellow, I think, or more white. Definitely more yellow. Oh, I was on the wrong side. Ooh. I mean, I could just do a reflection bit on this side too, so it's like here, 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 here. Cool, it's good. So we've got some broken parts that we need to fix. It's not one of those, apparently. It's one of these. One of these. Right here. So you see, like, let's move the lighting around. All of this is like scuffed now. Oh, paint there. So we need to fix all of that up. So if I come into, which part is this? God. Down here. Oh, nice. Pretty easy to fix here then. So if I make sure I set this to, not that. UVs, it means when I paint over here. So this is actually really, that's so smart. Thank you, Peter. It's I assume you mean the ORM acronym. I guess it's an acronym, right? Because ORM is a word. ORM, well, not a real word, but it can be said like a word. But it's funny because, like I said, other packs call it ORM now, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not the only one. Yeah, so what the UV thing does, so if I, how far does this go up to? Like here. Oh, that doesn't really matter here then. I want to find a good example because this is actually a super helpful thing. So when you've got something like disconnected, I can't find anything. Here might do it. If I like, click here. Oh, it's not even on there. Right. I really want to show this as an example because it's super helpful. Someone showed me the other week this. So if I like click on something, you'll see it will try to color multiple things in, right? So I even colored the base in. So is that a good idea then, looking at the base? If we click the base, what is connected to the base? Aha, that's a good idea. So if we're like trying to just color in this part here, right? Right, so we're in here. And we go to UV. So it's not on UVs. We go to Tangent Wrap, I think it's usually on. We're going to color this in. You'll see, despite us only clicking on here, it's coloring this part in, right? This big bit here. We don't want that when I'm coloring. Well, it depends, actually. You might want that. But let's say I only want to color this thing in. And when I do it manually here, I'm like, oh, it's selecting it here. I want to try to color this in. I'm like, oh, it's coloring this part in, right? To avoid that, set your alignment to UV, and apparently it kind of works on here as well, but if you set to UV, it will only paint that UV map. The reason it painted that is because I went over, but it will only paint that UV map. That is super helpful. Hey, Rundown 3D, how's it going, man? Yeah, go for it, Peter. Are you going to say about all the empty space? Because that's the reason there's a lot of empty space is because I need to combine two maps together when I'm done. The wood map and the cannon map. Is it paint normals over the ones that are baked, as in the ones that you have actually in your mesh maps? Yeah, I mean, as long as you, well, I guess it really depends what's going on. What's going on? If I go to cannon wood, which has baked stuff on it. So let's have a look at what it does. So you usually just go to height because your normals are just your heights when you bake them anyway. Let's go to here, turn the height down. That didn't do anything, did it? Jesus. Oh, there you go. So you can paint them together, right? The problem you'll find is the way that they blend isn't the way you usually want it. If you come into here and set it to normal and set it to, if you have like other layers, that can sometimes fix a few issues. But when it's baked, you will have the problem that I'm showing here of it kind of going over each other. Some sort of fiber already baked in, and I want to add some mud on that, but I don't want to see the fiber. Ooh. I think you just export the normal maps when you've painted out on top and re-import them in. And I think that should do it. It's a bit awkward. But it's very, very annoying to try to actually paint over existing one. I'm trying to think if there is a way. Because even if you set this to normal... Oh, wait, we're on the wrong layer. Hold on a minute. Even if you set this to normal, which is on, it doesn't add a fill. White mask. Yeah. It doesn't like flatten out those normals. The UV square add-on pack, masked free in Blender, you can get a lot more resolution for your text space. UV squares Blender add-on. What descriptive tile? Thank you. It reshapes them into a grid. Will that be better UV space? I feel like that's going to separate them out into separate parts of a grid, which will give you less packed UVs, will it not? I mean, I think the UVs were pretty packed. I don't think I would have got much better at the UV space. Let's have a look. Oh, right. It's like grid alignment tools and stuff. Oh, you know what? That would actually be quite helpful. Or just reading it on over here, like in the features. But I don't think we're going to get much better resolution, because if you actually look at my pack, it's pretty packed. There are some gaps in here, but it's pretty packed. My only issue is these. Reshape selected UV faces quads to grid of either equivalent squares. Oh. This is a free one. I'll keep this tab up so I can download it off stream. I won't add it now because I don't want to learn how to use something on stream. Subscription with... Damn, Mega! Freaking 23 months. Did you forget the ping? Oh, bugger. Did I actually forget the ping? I did everything else and then I started talking. I did forget the ping. Who was it that came and it was like, you forgot to ping? And I was like, no, I didn't. I was like, it's right here. They were like, oh. I think Twitch chat's minimized again. Oh, wait, was it? I should actually... Oh, I just minimized it again. I should actually... I would also just working with UDIMs if you want to add more stuff on top of that. Nah, UDIMs don't interest me at all. I've looked into UDIMs. UDIMs I thought was really weird because UDIMs was one of those things that people describe to me in a really weird way. Like a lot of stuff is when people describe certain things to me, they don't really tell me what they are. Like, so UDIMs are essentially, it's just going outside your UV space and using like the UV squares outside of that. That's a really bad description, but basically a UDIM is you'll have basically this would be like the 0, 0 or whatever, and then this would be the 0, 1, 0, 2, and then this would be your 1, 0 and your 1, 1, and then you could basically tell it to use those separate places. I think UDIMs, if I'm just doing a single mesh, is a complete overkill. I think it's just a lot of extra work when I could just do it the traditional way without having to worry about UDIMs. I think it's really good for certain things, especially if you're doing tiling textures. It's really, really good. They used it for Godzilla in Godzilla. But yeah, I mean, the UDIMs are not a bad idea. I just don't see a lot of purpose for them when I'm doing any basic stuff like this. But another example was someone like underdescribed or overdescribed, or just didn't explain what something was what do you call detailed normals. So if you don't know what detailed normal is, it's just a tiling texture on top of your existing texture in the Unreal Engine. That's all it is. I've been doing that since freaking university. But people, Steve, you know, another one was actually weighted normals. So I was like, Steve, you need to apply weighted normals. Weighted normals. You need to apply weighted normals. What's a weighted normal? It's, you know, and they didn't really explain it. And I was just like, what's a weighted normal? And then I was using Maya at the time, and I was like, Maya weighted normal. It's like Maya uses weighted normals by default, and I was just like, so I am using weighted normals. But in Blender, you have to apply weighted normals as a separate modifier because I guess it's got two ways it calculates its normals. But Maya just is automatically, it does it that way. But yeah, detailed normals is a really annoying one as well, because someone was proper going on about detailed normals until I finally looked it up, and I was like, it's just a tiling texture on your existing, like, oh, I haven't got a scene to show at the moment. My Simpsons scene is bugged out for some reason, but have I got an example I can show you guys? I'm trying to figure the scenes I have. I don't think so. I don't tend to use detailed normals when it comes to stylized stuff, because you don't need those. A lot of time when you're really close to a stylized asset, it's flat color to an extent, or gradient color, so you don't tend to have, I guess it depends on the style you're doing. But it comes down to realism usually when you're using detailed normals, because you want to get, if you get close to some leather, you want to see all those leather cracks and stuff, because it looks really cool. But yeah, UDIMs was another case of that, when someone just didn't explain to me what UDIM was. So I had to go look it up, and I was like, oh, it's just it, because the way that they were using UDIMs as well was no different than just using, because they're kind of imported or used in a similar way to UV sets. If you don't know what UV set is, it's basically, you can, do I know how to do it in Blender? So you can create different UV maps for something, and then you could just use different parts of the UVs to unwrap, a different part of the mesh to unwrap onto a different UV set, and you can use those UV sets to text your asset. Pretty similar to UDIMs. UDIMs, you just tell it to locate different part of your UDIM, so 0, 1, 0, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. UV sets, you just tell it to use a different UV set. Very, very similar in its end results. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I don't see personally much of a benefit a lot of the time, so I don't tend to use either. I don't even use UV sets most of the times. The only time I tend to use UV sets when I'm in the Unreal Engine is if I want to do something very, very specific with my model. I know I'm going on a rant about this, but for example, I made some sports equipment at one point, but I wanted like their names and stuff to be interchangeable. So I took the UVs where their names would have been located and whatnot, and I put them big on my UV square, so that way I could put the names in it. Then I overlaid them in the top in Unreal Engine, so that way I could just throw a name in, taking up the full UV space, and that name would look really detailed. Boom, shoved onto their shirt, because it was in a separate UV set. So even then, I don't use UV sets very often, only for very, very specific purposes. Again, no, I'm no pro, so there might be someone who comes along and says, no, UDIMs allows you to do this very specific thing that makes your models 100 times better, and I'm like, whoa. But anytime I've looked it up, it just looks, it looks convenient for some things, but doesn't tend to bother me. Where's my concept? Oh, there it is, Jesus. Jump scare concept art. Right, I'm still fixing this part. I didn't even start, did I? I say, obviously when new people come into the chat, they don't know the things I've tried, the things I've done. I've quite often tried mostly everything. But I get a lot of people who do come into chat. Peter said about it very, very politely, admittedly. So this isn't directed at him, but some people come to chat, it's like, no, you need to do this. I'm like, no, I've tried that. I'm not doing that on purpose. That happens a lot in the chat. But it's just people trying to be helpful. It just depends how they ask it. Oh, Steve, you're an idiot. Use freaking, I don't know. Use red instead of blue. No, it's blue because it's a cool color. The scene is supposed to be cool. That's also a very interesting talking topic. Is is people sometimes say, I say this all the time when people ask me to critique their work. I say, I'm not always going to be accurate in my critique because it might be something different. You might be going for something different than I think it should look. An amazing example of this when I was in university, and it said about red and blue about being a cool scene was a perfect example because I was making an interior scene of like a fireplace and antique furniture and stuff like that. It wasn't very good, but admittedly, I was making it really, really low res and stuff to work in like a mobile game. Like I think I had everything on one UV sheet with tiling textures or something. Like, and then all the models were only like 100 to 200 polys of model at most. But dropping that, I remember a teacher coming over to me, and one teacher went, "Oh no, your post-processing should be set to red." I think it was set to blue, right? It should be set to red. So, okay. Anyway, and I think he explained why, which is, you want the scene to be warmer. You're in front of a fireplace. You want it to be not red, sorry, but orange, like a faint orange. So a more orange ambient to the scene to give it more of a warm feeling, a welcoming, a quite warm, nice, cozy feel. It's like, okay. Within 5 minutes, another teacher walked over and said, "Oh, I don't think that should be red. I think it should be blue. You want the scene to feel cool. You want it to feel relaxed and cool, and and the fire is gonna be getting most of your red light." And I was like, "It's like, okay." So one teacher told me to do it one completely different way than the other teacher, and it was such a good example. I always come back to that example because, yeah, at the end of the day, everyone is going to review and look at something differently. Now, sometimes what you're doing is just going to be the wrong way to do it. It's going to be the wrong answer. But when it comes to personal preference, I thought my freaking VR sensor was dented. It's the freaking light coming in, causing it looking like distorted on the edge of it. But yeah, everyone's going to have a different perspective on how they want either something to be done or just how they want it to be, want it to look. Hello, Steve. Hey, 6 clicks. I have come back for the simple reason that you popped up in my recommended. Nice. YouTube's giving me some recommended pop-ups. Heck yeah, man. I remember you. I don't remember anything about you. This was, you know what? Very similar when working in retail. So for those of you who've not worked in retail, obviously you get a lot of... I'm talking about a lot of random topics today. You get a lot of customers. Ooh, I'm making this